algae are classified based on what type of photosynthetic pigments do they have within their cells, and what is the basis, the structural or chemical basis of their cell walls. There are a lot of uses for algae out there. We use algae in things like cosmetics, we use it in food and some medical products. So table 5.4, and this is from an old edition. So I don't know if this table is still in the current edition of the book we're using, but it's a good table. Breaks them down into groups of algae, and based on their group and their common names. Common names, what's in parentheses. And then how are they organized, their cell wall, what type of pigments, and then what do we use them for. So this first group is really a cross between an algae and a protozoan. So there are some members of this that are really closely related to the Mystigophoras, and that is a group of protozoans. So these organisms are both photosynthetic, but they can also eat other organisms. So they can be autotrophic and heterotrophic. Mostly unicellular. They have flagella, and then basic chlorophyll pigments, carotenoids, are that red and yellow. Pyrophyta. Pyrophyta is your dinoflagellates. So these are unicellular. They have 2 flagella, and this is what causes that red tide, is your dinoflagellates. Chrysophyta are your diatoms, and we also have some group of red-brown algae in the chrysophytas. Mostly unicellular, some filamentous. What makes them very unique is this structure in their cell wall, silicon dioxide. Silicon dioxide is what makes up glass. So they have a very crystalline, a very see-through cell wall. In ecology, or what they're important for, is they're a huge component of plankton, and they also make up diatomaceous earth. That's something we use in freshwater aquariums. Phaeophyta are your brown algae, specifically your kelps. These are multicellular and macroscopic organisms. So they have a full vascular system, so what plants actually have in terms of xylem and phloem and how transport works inside the plant. They have cellulose in their cell wall, chlorophyll and carotenoids, and they are a source of an emulsifier and an alginate. So we use some of these in things like food and whatnot. Rhodophyta are our red seaweeds. They are all multicellular, so they're completely visible. These are macroscopic. Cellulose in the cell wall. This is what we use for agar in something called carrageenan. Carrageenan is a food additive. It's a thickening agent. It's a thickening agent. So you'll find it in things like toothpaste, ice cream, things that we thicken up. It's what makes agar in lab solid instead of a liquid. And then chlorophyta are our green algae. These actually we group with plants. They're the most closely related plants to plants. So there's all sorts of types from unicellular up to multicellular. And this is what really led into plants in terms of evolution, is they grew into plants.